Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 on our Professional Perspective series, What Cause Inspires You. I'm your host, Alisha Gupta, and today I have with me Ava Raiford. What Cause Inspires You is a podcast founded for students ages 13 to 21 to be able to share the service they're doing in their communities. We recently launched our Professional Perspective series in order for experts in their field to give insight to our youth about how to make a stronger impact and accelerate social justice movements. Ava Raiford is the reigning USA National Miss DC Junior Teen 2020. Ava is a shining example of someone who's passionate about helping others. Throughout her career in pageantry, she decided her time to volunteer local elementary schools by reading her anti-bullying book, Ava Spreads Love Wherever She Goes. She even shares informative presentations about being respectable and kind within a classroom setting. One of Ava's most accomplished initiatives was developing her own personal advocacy, Ava's Toy Box, where she collects new toys all year and distributes them to local families in need. Ava will showcase all of her skills and accolades at the USA National Miss Pageant this Thanksgiving weekend. She will proudly represent the District of Columbia, hoping to capture the prestigious junior teen title amongst all 50 states. This podcast series will be available on Spotify and YouTube under Humanity Rising Voices. Ava, we're so thrilled to have you here with us today. We're ready to begin whenever you are.
I am ready to begin. I am happy to be here.
Awesome. I can't wait to get to know a little bit more about you. So why don't we just start off with what the role of USA National Miss DC Junior Teen is, and what are you really competing for?
Well, honestly, I believe our role everybody's role as being a pageant queen is to make the world a better place. And I know a lot of people would tell you that they're competing for a title when they go to nationals, but that's not what we're competing for. We're going to go there to compete for the opportunity to spread awareness about the topics that we're passionate about. Mine is anti-bullying, and I'm going to be able to spread that awareness to a wider audience and hopefully make the world a better place during my reign.
That's honestly so powerful, and I love hearing that from you because I think pageantry sometimes can get misinterpreted by many, but it's so refreshing to have you here with us today and really share that with our audience. I do want to focus on anti-cyberbullying initiatives in this call because I'm not sure if you're aware, but actually I was cyberbullied in the past, and a lot of the work that I've done with Humanity Rising focuses on those anti-cyberbullying initiatives. So Ava, we have a little more in common than you think, but I just want to hear from you why you think anti-bullying is so important within your age demographic.
Well, I don't know if you knew this or not, but girls ages 10 to 14, my age, are actually most likely to be bullied. I know cyberbullying is something that is often not taken seriously, especially since we're all at home during the holidays and, the current pandemic going on. And a lot of times my generation, they cut each other down instead of building each other up just because they want to feel more powerful. When in the long run, we need to come together so that we can all be successful.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, I think I read a statistic that almost 1 in 3 youth are cyberbullied. And, that just strikes me as like, this is another pandemic. Cyberbullying happens way too often, especially as all of us are at home. That's only been increasing with the rise of social media. So definitely a really important topic to talk about right now. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Crown Cares appearances?
My Crown Cares appearances are honestly my favorite. Before the pandemic, I was going every day after school, actually, and reading to various elementary schools with, like you said, my personal anti-bullying book called Ava Spreads Love Wherever She Goes. But then after the pandemic took place, I had to switch all of my presentations over to online and virtual. And for the past couple of months, I've been reading online with the Crown Cares about anti-bullying, and I've reached over 15,000 people with the message of the Crown Cares.
Wow, that's simply amazing. Especially since you really dedicated your time to going out and helping those children learn about something that's so important. I think the younger the age, that we really expose them to an issue like this, the more impactful it's going to be later on, and the less instances of cyberbullying we're going to see in high school and even sometimes in the workforce. So what is the biggest issue facing your generation? I know you've talked a little bit about your book and Ava's Toy Box, but how will you help teens with that issue as a title holder?
Well, honestly, like you've already said, I believe one of the biggest issues that my generation does face today is cyberbullying, now more than ever because of the pandemic, because everybody's at home. And not all people, especially people my age, realize just because you're anonymous out there online and you post mean comments and those people are anonymous too, just because you don't know them doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. A lot of people just don't realize that when they go up there to post those hate comments.
Oh yeah, 100%. Sometimes we think that we can be strong enough to look over words, why are words really affecting us? But I think it's sometimes those words that affect our mentality the most. And I don't think that's something that a lot of people can grasp because they're like, it's just words on the platform. It's just some comments, just ignore them. But coming from someone who has been cyberbullied, I can tell you those comments stick with you for a very, very long time. And so, again, being anonymous is not an excuse, and we should be building our community together to even support the victims of cyberbullying as well.
Yes, we should.
So why don't you, switching gears a little bit, tell us about the donation drive that you initiated, Ava's Toy Box.
Well, Ava's Toy Box was actually established about 2 years ago because of my parents' joke on me and my siblings that we weren't going to get anything for Christmas. And that joke actually made me realize that not all children do get the Christmas that me and my siblings do. And I wanted to go out into my community to change that. So during the year, every year now, I collect toy donations as well as buy toys with my own chore money so that I can help those unfortunate families in my community. And I know that if anybody listening to this podcast wants to donate, I even have an Amazon wish list that's set up so they can buy on Amazon and directly ship it to me.
Wow, that's amazing. And honestly, if at your age, not many people can realize that and realize that not everyone's getting the same privileges that you and I might get when it comes to holiday season and the joys that surround it. So again, super impactful and really thinking about everyone in our community, not just people who might think or look alike, like as us. So that's great. What were some of your favorite volunteer opportunities that kind of led you to starting Ava's Toy Box?
Well, honestly, it's hard to pick just one because I love every opportunity that I do get to go out and help the people in my community. But one of my favorites is when I got to host a paint night for my past teacher who had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. She was struggling to pay her medical bills, and during that paint night, I had raised over $5,000. Fun fact, she's now cancer-free and even teaches my brother in first grade.
Wow. Those stories are just, I guess, testaments to how these donations do make a difference. And not even donations, but just knowing that someone's looking out for you is a great mentality boost. And they do help solve cures, believe it or not. But, I think the more that we let people know that we're there for them, the more our community can get cured as a whole. But there's a lot of students on this podcast who are listening in today that don't know where to start in their community service or don't know how to be a leader in their community. So as a leader yourself, how will you influence your peers to be leaders in the community as well?
Well, because of the pandemic, actually, I was creative and I made my own Be Kind Girl challenge that it was made to inspire young girls to get out into their community and do random acts of kindness for others. I know some girls went to food banks while others just stayed and helped their parents at home. I personally went and donated eggs to my immune compromised friend who couldn't go out during Easter. And I know after it was done, I was even able to crown 2 Be Kind Girl Queens, and a sash and crown was mailed to them.
Wow, that's great. Literally spreading, I guess, the joy that you've got from pageantry to other girls and really uplifting women in your community. And Ava, that's exactly what we want to see. And you've already demonstrated so many acts of kindness, but how have you been able to spread the kindness during these unprecedented times?
Well, it's been very difficult, and I've had to become very creative, especially because of the ongoing pandemic. And I can't go out and do as much as I would like, but I know that I can still help out in my community. I know that there was just a mask shortage, and me and my stepmom actually came and got together and made masks for the people in my community that didn't have one. I was one of the first ones to know about it because my stepmom is actually a nurse. And overall, we made and donated over 250 masks.
Wow, that's amazing. Again, unprecedented times here, and we need to come together to be able to solve all these world issues, but also take care of our own health and mental health. And I think, Ava, you break every stereotype that people hear about pageantry, which is amazing and definitely super eye-opening for a lot of us, and me included. So how can other girls get involved in pageantry?
Well, there is a wide range in when it comes to getting involved with pageantry, whether it just be supporting a friend who is in pageants or actually doing one yourself. I know my first pageant was actually just my county fair, and I had done it just so that I could bond more with my sibling. And and while I was doing that, I found my passion and what I like doing. I love helping people, and I'm glad that I get to do what I do now to make the world a better place.
Well, let me just say, Ava, you look like an absolute princess, both on the outside and the inside. And so we're really,
Thank
really
you.
grateful for you to be here on our podcast today. You all can find more about Ava at USA National Miss DC Junior Teen 2020 on Instagram. Be sure to also follow our Instagram and Facebook pages to stay updated on our scholarship opportunities, future podcasts, and events. Our Instagram and Facebook are at humanity.rising and at what cause inspires you. And sign up for our weekly email newsletter at www.humanityrising.org. Thank you so much, Ava, once again.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to be here.
Of course. Unfortunately, that's all we have on for today, but definitely look out for more episodes on professional perspectives on what cause inspires you. I'm your host, Alisha Gupta, and I hope you all continue changing the world.